Welcome to our channel History of Coins, where we explore the hidden gems of numismatics. In today's video, we're diving into the fascinating world of rare wheat pennies. These classic coins hold an incredible history, and some are worth millions. So today, we are gonna uncover the rarest varieties, their values. So make sure to watch the complete video and find out if you have one of these. Now let's continue our today's video. Top 1 today. We're taking a journey back in time to the year 1935 to explore one of America's most iconic and collectible coins, the United States wheat penny. Don't let its small size fool you. This humble 1-cent coin has secrets that could make it worth tens of thousands of dollars. So sit back, listen carefully, and let's uncover why the 1935 wheat penny is such a treasure in the world of rare coins. The wheat penny, officially known as the Lincoln cent, was first introduced in 1909 to honor President Abraham Lincoln's 100th birthday. It quickly became one of the most beloved coins in American history. The 1935 edition comes from an era when the United States was recovering from the Great Depression, a time of hardship, hope, and rebuilding. This gives the coin a deep historical connection, making it even more meaningful for collectors than on the obverse side. The coin features the familiar portrait of Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner, a design so admired that it's still used on modern pennies today. On the reverse side, you'll find two wheat stalks arching around the words 1 cent and United States of America. This simple yet elegant design symbolizes America's agricultural roots and resilience during difficult times. Now, what makes the 1935 wheat penny truly fascinating isn't just its design or history. It's the hidden rarities that make some of these coins worth an astonishing amount of money. Most 1935 wheat pennies were minted in large numbers, but a few special ones have errors that make them extremely valuable to collectors. One of the most famous and sought-after varieties is the double die error. This happens when the coin's design is struck twice but slightly misaligned, causing the lettering, especially "I in God We Trust" or "Liberty," to appear doubled. These errors are highly noticeable and incredibly rare. Then there's the off-center strike error, where the design is misaligned and part of the coin's surface is blank. These odd-looking coins immediately catch the eye of collectors. Another fascinating variant is the repunched mint mark error. Some 1935 wheat pennies minted in Denver, marked with a small D below the date, were struck with the mint mark punched more than once in slightly different positions. To an untrained eye, it might look like a tiny blur, but for coin experts, it's a jackpot. There are also a few examples with lamination errors, where part of the metal flaked during minting, giving the surface a unique texture that adds to its value. Condition plays a massive role too. Many 1935 pennies were heavily circulated, which means finding one in pristine, uncirculated condition with that original red copper shine is like finding a needle in a haystack. These high-grade examples are extremely rare and fetch incredible prices at auctions. What makes this coin even more special is that it represents a moment in America's story. During the 1930s, every penny mattered. People saved them, cherished them, and used them to get by during tough times. Holding a 1935 wheat penny feels like holding a piece of history, a small reminder of the resilience and hope of that generation. That's why collectors across the world are fascinated by it. It's not just a coin, it's a symbol of endurance. For coin enthusiasts, the thrill comes from the hunt, searching through old jars, boxes, or inherited collections, hoping to find that one rare coin that everyone else overlooked. And the 1935 wheat penny is one of those coins worth looking for carefully. Check the date, inspect the mint mark, and use a magnifying glass to spot any doubling, off-center details, or unusual markings. You might be staring at something far more valuable than you imagine. Now, here's the part you've been waiting for: the real value of this incredible coin. A 1935 United States wheat penny with rare minting errors or in flawless, uncirculated condition has been known to sell for as much as $85,000. Yes, you heard that right. $85,000 for a single penny. Imagine finding a coin that once bought candy nearly a century ago and realizing it's worth more than a luxury car today. That's the magic of coin collecting, turning small discoveries into big fortunes. So, if you've got an old collection, a box of coins in your attic, or even a few wheat pennies lying around, take a closer look. The next great treasure might be sitting right in your hands. Top 2, we're going back to one of the most fascinating and collectible coins in American history, the United States of America Wheat Penny from 1939. It may be just 1 cent, but don't be fooled by its size. This little coin has become a prized possession among collectors, and certain rare versions have sold for truly jaw-dropping prices. So listen very carefully till the end, because your old penny could be worth far more than you imagine. The 1939 wheat penny was struck during an important time in U.S. history. The world was on the brink of World War II, and the American economy was still recovering from the Great Depression. Every coin produced in those years carries the spirit of resilience and change. That's part of what makes this coin so special. It's a tiny piece of history that reflects the strength and perseverance of a nation. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the 1939 Lincoln Wheat Penny features the familiar portrait of President Abraham Lincoln on the front, with the words, "I in God we trust" above his head, "Liberty" to his left, and the year 1939 to his right. The reverse side showcases 2 wheat stalks surrounding the words 1 cent and United States of America, along with the phrase E pluribus unum. This classic wheat ears design, used from 1909 to 1958, remains one of the most loved and iconic designs in American coin history. Now, here's where things get exciting. Not all 1939 wheat pennies are the same. While millions were minted, only a few came out with unique characteristics or rare minting errors that make them extremely valuable today. Some of these rare varieties have been found to sell for thousands, even tens of thousands, of dollars at auctions. Let's take a closer look at what makes these coins so special. One of the most desirable errors is the double die obverse, where parts of the coin's design appear doubled, especially the date or the lettering like Liberty or I in God we trust. This happens when the coin die shifts slightly during minting, creating a ghost-like second image that collectors go crazy for. Another extremely valuable error is the off-center strike, where the design is misaligned and looks as if it's sliding off the edge. These off-center coins are one-of-a-kind and instantly recognizable. Then there's the repunched mint mark variety. The 1939 wheat penny was minted in Philadelphia, Denver, marked with a D, and San Francisco, marked with an S. Some coins from the Denver and San Francisco mints show signs of the mint mark being punched more than once in slightly different positions. Under magnification, you can see a tiny blur or doubling on the D or S, and that's exactly what collectors hunt for. These small imperfections can increase the coin's value dramatically. There are also rare cases of clipped planchet errors, where a small curved section of the coin's edge is missing due to a flaw in the metal blank before striking. Though accidental, these make the coin rare and unique. And let's not forget die cracks, fine raised lines on the coin's surface caused by a cracked die during production. Each one tells its own story of how that individual coin was made. Condition is another huge factor. Most 1939 wheat pennies were circulated heavily, used for everyday purchases during tough times. But if you find one in pristine, uncirculated condition, with that original red or reddish-brown shine still glowing, then you have something truly special. High-grade coins, especially those graded by professional services as mint state, can reach astonishing values. Beyond the numbers, what really makes the 1939 wheat penny so captivating is its connection to the past. Every mark, every detail, carries a piece of America's story, from the struggles of the 1930s to the hope that defined a new era. That's what makes collecting coins so magical. You're not just holding money, you're holding history. So, if you have an old jar of pennies lying around, or a coin collection passed down from your parents or grandparents, take a careful look. Check the year, the mint mark, and the small details under a magnifying glass. If you spot doubling, an off-center design, or a missing edge section, you might have a rare treasure in your hands. And now, the moment you've been waiting for, the true value of this historic coin. A 1939 United States wheat penny with rare minting errors or in flawless, uncirculated condition has been known to sell for as much as $83,000. Yes, you heard that right. $83,000 for a single penny. Imagine turning 1 cent into a fortune just because of a small mistake made more than 80 years ago. That's the thrill of coin collecting. You never know which coin in your pocket might hold a hidden secret. So, start checking your old coins today. That 1939 wheat penny could be your ticket to something incredible. Top 3, we're diving into one of the most beloved coins in U.S. history, the 1942 Wheat Penny. It may look like an ordinary cent, but some rare varieties of this coin have sold for shocking prices. So listen very carefully till the end, because your small, old penny could be worth a life-changing amount of money. The year 1942 was a time when the world was at war. The United States was gearing up for World War II, and every resource, even copper, was becoming valuable for military use. That's why coins from this time hold not only monetary value, but also a deep historical significance. Each 1942 wheat penny is like a small piece of history, a reminder of America's strength, sacrifice, and resilience during one of the most challenging eras. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the coin features the legendary portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the front, with the words "I in God we trust" above his head, Liberty on the left, and the year 1942 on the right. On the reverse side, two wheat ears gracefully surround the inscriptions 1 cent and United States of America, along with the phrase E pluribus unum. This timeless design, known as the wheat ears reverse, was used from 1909 until 1958, and it remains one of the most recognizable symbols in coin collecting. Now, let's talk about what makes some 1942 wheat pennies extremely rare and valuable. First, there are special minting errors that occurred when the dies, the metal stamps that pressed the coin's design, misaligned or overlapped. One of the most sought after is the double die obverse, where the date or lettering on the front of the coin appears doubled. This doubling effect is especially noticeable on words like liberty or I in God we trust. Such coins are rare and highly desirable among collectors. Another fascinating variety is the off-center strike, which happens when the coin blank wasn't properly centered during minting. The result is a coin where part of the design is missing or shifted, giving it an unusual and eye-catching look. The more off-center the strike, without losing key details like the date, the higher it's valued. There's also the rare repunched mint mark or RPM error, most commonly found on coins from the Denver and San Francisco mints. You can identify this by carefully inspecting the mint mark, the small d or s below the date. If you see faint traces of another letter behind it, that means the mint mark was punched twice in slightly different spots. This tiny detail can make a huge difference in value. Collectors also search for the clipped planchet error, where a small curved portion of the coin's edge is missing. This happened when the blank metal sheet wasn't perfectly cut before striking. These coins look strange, but are incredibly collectible. And let's not forget the die cracks, thin raised lines caused when the die used to strike the coin cracked over time. These lines make each coin one of a kind. Now, here's something even more special. In 1942, a few experimental coins were made using different metals as the U.S. Mint prepared for wartime material changes. While most 1942 pennies were made of copper, some extremely rare examples were struck on brass or even silver-colored planchets meant for other coins. These error coins are among the rarest and most valuable in existence. Condition, of course, plays a major role. Most 1942 wheat pennies were heavily circulated during the war, so finding one in pristine, uncirculated condition is extremely difficult. Coins that still have their original red luster, especially those graded as mint state by professional services, can reach astonishing prices. Think about it. A simple 1-cent coin that's been in someone's pocket over 80 years ago could now be worth a small fortune. That's the magic of coin collecting. History, mystery, and value all hidden in something so small. So, if you've got a jar of old coins at home, or maybe a box of pennies handed down from your parents or grandparents, take a closer look. Check for doubling on the letters, off-center designs, strange colors, or mint marks that look unusual. You never know what treasure you might find. And now, the part you've been waiting for, the value of this historical beauty. A 1942 United States wheat penny with rare errors or in perfect uncirculated condition has been known to sell for as much as $80,000. Yes, you heard that right. $80,000 for a single penny. Imagine finding one of these in your old collection or change jar. That's like discovering hidden gold in your own home. So coin lovers, keep your eyes open and your magnifying glasses ready, because that little copper penny you overlook could be your ticket to something incredible. Top 4, we're traveling back to the mid-20th century to talk about one of the most fascinating and collectible coins in American history, the 1950 United States wheat penny. It might look like a simple 1-cent coin, but some special versions of this penny have shocked collectors with their incredible value. So stay tuned till the very end, because what seems like a small copper coin could actually be worth a fortune. The year 1950 was a peaceful time in America, right after the turbulence of World War II. The economy was booming, families were growing, and pennies like these were in everyone's pocket. But while millions of these coins were minted, only a few have survived in rare, high quality, or error forms. And those are the ones collectors are hunting for today. Let's start with the design. On the front, you'll see the familiar face of Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner, a portrait that has graced the penny since 1909. The inscriptions, "I in God we trust," "Liberty," and the date 1950 surround the 16th President of the United States. Flip the coin, and you'll find the classic wheat ears on each side of the words 1 cent and United States of America, along with the motto, E pluribus unum. This simple yet elegant design is what gives the wheat penny its famous nickname. Now here's where things get exciting. Not all 1950 wheat pennies are the same. Some are worth just a few cents, while others can fetch thousands. The secret lies in the small details: mint marks, errors, and condition. In 1950, the coins were produced at 3 different U.S. mints: Philadelphia, no mint mark; Denver, D; and San Francisco, S. Among these, the 1950 S and 1950 D varieties have shown up with some extremely rare minting errors that drive collectors wild. One of the most famous errors is the double die obverse, where the date or letters on the front of the coin appear slightly doubled. You can spot this if the word Liberty or the numbers in 1950 look thicker or blurred. This doubling happens when the coin die shifts during minting, and it can turn an ordinary penny into a valuable rarity. Another prized error is the off-center strike, which happens when the coin isn't perfectly aligned during the minting process. These coins have part of the design missing or pushed to one side, creating a fascinating, imperfect look that collectors love. The more off-center the design, as long as the date remains visible, the higher the coin's valued. There's also the repunched mint mark error, often found on 1950 D and 1950 S coins. This occurs when the mint mark was punched more than once in slightly different spots, creating a shadow effect behind the letter. These small imperfections are pure gold for collectors who crave uniqueness. Then we have the clipped planchet error, where part of the coin's edge appears to be cut off in a crescent shape. This mistake happened when the metal sheet used to make the coins was not properly aligned before stamping. These coins are easily noticeable and highly collectible, and let's not forget, the condition of the coin is everything. Most 1950 wheat pennies were used heavily in circulation for decades, so finding one in perfect, uncirculated condition is extremely rare. Coins that still shine with their original red luster, known as mint state red, are especially valuable. Even a tiny difference in condition can mean the difference between a coin worth a few dollars and one worth tens of thousands. There's also an interesting twist. A few 1950 pennies were accidentally struck on leftover steel planchets from the 1943 wartime era or on thinner foreign metal blanks used for overseas coins. These rare minting mistakes are almost impossible to find but can sell for staggering amounts when discovered. Every small mark, every tiny imperfection tells a story of how that coin was made, handled, and preserved. And that's exactly why collectors adore the 1950 wheat penny. It's a piece of mid-century America, carrying both history and hidden value in its copper surface. So, if you've got a jar of old pennies lying around, now's the time to dig through them. Check for mint marks under the date. Look for doubling, off-center designs, or unusual edges. Who knows? You might be holding one of the rarest and most valuable pennies ever struck. And now, the moment you've been waiting for, the true value of this little treasure. A rare 1950 United States wheat penny with minting errors or in flawless uncirculated condition has been known to sell for as much as $78,000. Yes, you heard that right. $78,000 for a 1-cent coin. Imagine finding one of those in your coin collection or pocket change. That's the magic of numismatics, turning small forgotten pieces of history into priceless treasures. So, coin lovers, keep your eyes sharp and your magnifying glasses ready. That ordinary-looking penny might just change your life. Top 5, we're diving into one of the last issues of the iconic Wheat Penny series, the 1958 United States Wheat Penny. Though it looks like a simple 1-cent coin, some rare varieties of this penny have amazed collectors with jaw-dropping prices. So pay close attention, because what seems like a small copper coin could be your next treasure. The 1958 Wheat Penny was minted near the end of an era. The Wheat Penny series began in 1909 to honor Abraham Lincoln and continued until 1958, when the classic Lincoln Memorial reverse would take over in 1959. This coin marks the final chapter of over 40 years of one of America's most beloved coin designs. On the obverse, it features Lincoln's familiar portrait with the inscriptions, "I in God we trust, Liberty," and the date 1958. The reverse showcases the iconic wheat ears framing 1 cent and United States of America, along with E pluribus unum. Simple, elegant, and historic, this design is timeless. Despite being widely circulated, some 1958 wheat pennies are extremely rare and valuable due to minting errors and perfect condition. One of the most sought-after varieties is the double die obverse, where parts of the date or letters, especially Liberty and "I in God we trust," appear doubled. This happens when the coin is struck twice by the die, slightly misaligned, creating a ghost-like effect that collectors prize. Another valuable variety is the off-center strike, which occurs when the coin blank isn't properly aligned during minting. The result is a coin where part of the design is missing or shifted, giving it a unique and visually striking appearance. These misaligned coins are rare and instantly collectible. The repunched mint mark error is another intriguing feature, mostly found on Denver, D, or San Francisco, S, minted coins. Inspecting the small mint mark below the date might reveal a faint shadow or doubling of the letter, which significantly increases the coin's value. There are also clipped planchet coins, where a portion of the edge is missing due to a cutting error before striking. Each of these mistakes is unique, making these coins one-of-a-kind treasures. Condition is crucial. Most 1958 pennies were heavily circulated, so finding one in uncirculated condition, with a bright red or reddish-brown original luster, is extremely rare. Coins that are flawless, free of scratches or wear, attract premium prices among collectors. Even a tiny difference in condition can mean thousands of dollars in value. 1958 wheat pennies also carry historical significance. They were the final wheat pennies ever struck, making them the closing chapter of a long-standing and beloved series. Holding one is like holding a piece of numismatic history, a bridge between the past and the coins we use today. Every mark and detail tells the story of America in the late 1950s, making them more than just currency. Collectors treasure these coins not only for their monetary value, but for their connection to history. Finding a 1958 wheat penny in excellent condition or with a rare minting error is like discovering a hidden time capsule in your own pocket change. Examine your coins carefully. Look for doubling, off-center designs, unusual mint marks, or clipped edges. Even a small variation can signal a rare treasure. And now, the moment every collector waits for, the true value of this historic coin. A 1958 United States wheat penny with rare errors or in flawless, uncirculated condition has been known to sell for as much as $77,000. Yes, $77,000 for a single penny. Imagine that. A coin once worth 1 cent, now holding extraordinary value. That's the thrill of coin collecting, turning small, overlooked coins into treasures worth a fortune. So, if you have old pennies lying around, take a closer look. That 1958 wheat penny could be your next incredible find. If you enjoyed this video and love uncovering the hidden stories behind rare and valuable coins, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss another discovery. Thank you for watching, and as always, happy collecting and good luck treasure hunting.